Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to our 1976 New York Yankees, the Bronx Bombers replay. And this is game 102. I'll fill you in on how the Yankees are doing to this point. They are 55 and 47 in first place in the AL East. It's Billy Martin at the helm. They're facing the Milwaukee Brewers here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. We're using inside pitch, the game that on every roll includes the pitcher and the batter, always. And the Brewers are in fifth place at 49 and 51, and that's Alex Grammas, the manager for the Brewers. We're joining the action in the top of the first inning. It's 2-0 Yankees. The bases are loaded. No, it's first and third, and there's two outs. Bill Travers is on the mound for the Brewers, and he was exceptional in 1976. He had a 15-16 record, not so much for the record, but for the ERA of 281 with 240 innings pitched. So he really stood out as an exceptional pitcher in 1976. And Jim Catfish Hunter, maybe not as good, a 350 ERA, 17-15. So he did have 17 wins, but he lost 15 games. And a lot of decisions because he had a lot of complete games. So let's continue here. It's Fran Healy. He's a right-handed hitter. He is the catcher for the Yankees today. I'm pretty sure he is resting. Let me double check that. Yes, he's the catcher. Munson is the DH. And it's going to be Healy with Alomar on deck, and then the last batter, the ninth place batter, Fred Chicken Stanley. So here is the pitch from Bill Travers, the left-hander. Now, you have to have one thing with inside pitch is that you have to have plenty of dice, different colors for different things. And I do that personally. I create different colors for different things. And you'll see why. There's a lot of depth to this game. There's a lot of detail. Once you get it, it's very, very easy. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, but nothing that with a little support. I had support from a couple of guys. Hey, D. Smith and Philip Reynolds, how are you guys? I had support from a couple of guys. One of them is Rick. He runs a inside pitch league, and the other one is a good friend, Benny Blades. Both of them supported me heavy duty and encouraged me to play this game. They thought I'd really like it, and they were correct. And I'm going to continue here. There's two outs, runners on first and third. Infield is back. The infield for the Brewers is Heidemann at third base. Shortstop is Robin Yount. Timmy Johnson at second base, and George Scott at first base. Behind the plate is Darryl Porter. Here's the pitch. All right, it starts off on the pitcher. You read red and then white. It's going to be a 66, and that's a range play. So I'm going to roll on the batter card. That's when I'm going to use my green die, and that's how I do it. Range is for the grass, and that just I visualize the range, so I use green for that. So high is probably going to be a hit. Low is probably going to be an out, but it always depends on who gets the ball or who the ball is hit to. So it's going to be a 32. A 32 is a ground ball to third base. Heidemann is at third base. We roll a 4, which is pretty high. 4, 5, and 6 is pretty high. So we're going to look at Heidemann's rating at third base. And at third base, he's rated a 2. So that ball is by him. And we're going to roll now to see if it's a single or a double, because balls that are pulled down the line, either line, first base line or third base line, can be singles or double. And we're going to roll the blue. A 5 or a 6 is going to be a double. Otherwise, it gets cut off by the left fielder. And it does. Joshua gets over there, quickly cuts it off. 1 run scores. Nettles is going to stop at second. Not even going to roll to get him to third base. And I'm just going to hold him up right at second base. It's going to be a RBI single for Fran Healy. Down the line into left field, past the diving glove of Jack Heidemann, the third baseman for the Brewers. Brewers don't have very good defense, if you will. Philip is in the house. Still have problems with this myself. Well, that's why I'm here, my brother. I'm playing this out so you don't have any problems. All right, so it's going to be Bill Travers versus Sandy Alomar. Still 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The Yanks are up 3-0. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-5er, and that's wild. So we're going to have to roll the D20. It's 1-11 is a wild pitch. 12-14 is going to be pass ball. It's a 20, so nothing happens. So we roll again off Bill Travers. And that's a 6-2, and that's going to be a tired single. He's not tired just yet. So that's going to go over to Sandy Alomar's card. And it's a 42, and that is a little ground ball on the right side and past Johnson into right field. Nettles is going to be waved around with a single S4. Nettles, that's all he needs is a 2, and I believe Nettles is definitely going to score on that easily. And Healy, to get to first to third on a single pass second, is going to need a 3, but there's 2 outs. So that gives him an extra 1. So let's see if we can get Fran Healy up to he's a 2 and he goes to a 3, so he'll make it to third. Nettles scores, RBI single for Sandy Alomar. And runners on first and third. So Travers, who's a heck of a pitcher, has really struggled here in the top of the first inning. Hasn't been able to get out of the inning, and he's facing the 9th place batter, Fred Chicken Stanley. Here is the pitch. It's a 2-2, and that is a potential strikeout. So we got to check on the batter now. So if Stanley has a tendency to strike out a lot, his number is going to be high. If he doesn't, his number is going to be low. Against a lefty, it's an 8. The ballpark says +2. That's a 10. We roll a 20-sided die, and it's an 18, so there's no strikeout. We're going to roll off Fred Stanley's card. Remember, runners on first and third. And it's a 1-5 off Stanley, and that's line center field. Thomas racing in and slides and makes the catch for the third out. So Gorman Thomas, showing off the leather out there in center field, makes a nice sliding catch to save 1 run at least, and maybe 2. And we go to the bottom of the first. The Yanks are up 4-0, just like that. Von Joshua. Von Joshua in the replays batting .298. In actuality, he batted .266. All right, so it's Jim Catfish Hunter on the mound, and here's the pitch from Catfish. It's a 6-1. That's a potential K. Joshua is a 10. That's a 20, so he doesn't get the. That's a 3-1, and it's a ground ball. No, fly ball. Fly ball left field. Roy White is out there. Drifts under and makes the catch, 1 away. Robin Yount. Let me get this 20 out of there. That's a 1-3, and that's an error on a potential error on a grounder. We'll see what happens. And it's a 5-3, and it's a star line 6, which is a fly ball center field. Mickey Rivers on the run and tracks it down for out number 2. No error, no grounder. And now it's George Scott steps in the box. He's a right-handed power hitter. Here's a pitch from Catfish, and Catfish is susceptible to the home run ball. It's a 3-6er against a righty. That's a double star, so we're going to throw 1 die, and I usually throw my yellow for that. And that is a fly ball deep left field. Back goes Roy White to the track and runs it down for out number 3. So George Scott laid into one, drove it deep here at Milwaukee, but did not make it out of the park. All right, Mickey Rivers is leading it off. Mickey Rivers batting .336. In reality, Mick the Quick batted .312. He was in the top 10 batting for 1976. So came over from the California Angels in an off-season trade. Big base dealer at that time. And before we switch his card, it would be good if we rolled for him. It works better that way. Bill Travers, a 6-6, and that's a range play. So range play, we're going to throw that extra green die and see what happens. Oh, that's going to be a base hit no matter what, because nobody goes up that high. It's 6. So it's a 3-1. And that is going to be a star line 2, a fly ball, center field. And Thomas is not going to get there. It's going to drop in. It is going to drop in. Will it be a single or a double? That's the question. And it's going to be a single. Base hit single for Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers is going to try to get a lead. I'm going to throw, he needs, what does he need for a lead? A 7. And we got a 5. So there goes Mick the Quick. -1. What's the catcher? Let's see. The catcher, Porter, is a +1. So -1 +1 stays at 17. Here's a throw down, not in time. So Mickey Rivers steals second base, a single and a stolen base, just like that. Puts a runner in scoring position for Roy White. Roy White's been around a while with the Yankees. And that's a 2-5 off Travers. A 2-5 is a potential walk. Roy White against a lefty walks at an 11 +1, so it's 12 +1 for the county stadium. So it's a 12, and it's 11, so it's ball 4. So that puts runners on first and second, nobody out again. Bill Travers is really struggling here in this game. In the first inning, he allowed 4 runs on 4 hits and a couple of walks, and now here starts off the same way in the top of the second. Here's the pitch to Thurman Munson, the captain. It's a 1-4. That's a range play again. Uh-oh. And a 2 this time. That's probably caught. A 3-5, and that is popped up. Shortstop. That's going to be caught by Yount. 1 away. So Travers, with a good slider, gets Munson to pop up. And here comes Lou Piniella, right-handed batter. And that's a 2-2, and that is a K, potential K. And to strike out lefty, to strike out Lou Piniella needs a 8. And we roll a 2. Strike 3 on Piniella. Swings and misses at a fastball. That's 2 away. And here comes Chris Chambliss. And that's a 4-2. That's a blank, so it's off Chambliss's card. And a 2-5er, that's line drive. Left or right center field. On the run is Thomas, and he gets to it, and that retires the side. So Chambliss hit it right on the screws, but Thomas in center field got a good read on that ball right off the bat, was able to track it down. Mike Hegan. Here comes Hunter. That's a 4-1. That's a wild, so we're going to do that again, and now it's a 3-4, and that's a potential strikeout. Hegan against a righty is a 9. It's going to be a 19. Wow, it's almost automatic. Oh, a 19, and he gets it. Swings and misses. Next is Sixto Lezcano. Remember him? I remember him with a few teams. The Phillies and a couple of teams in the 80s. And that's a 2-3, and that's going to be a blank, so we're rolling off Lezcano's card. That's a 4-4, and that popped up infield. Alomar and Stanley come together, and Alomar makes the catch, and that retires the side. Oh, no, that's out number 2. Excuse me. And now it's Darryl Porter. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-6, and that's blank. So we look at Porter's card, and it's a 4-2. That's a star line, fly ball, right field. So Porter gives it a ride in the corner. Piniella makes the catch, and that retires the side. Lou Piniella showing some range out there in right field. Greg Nettles now. Nettles on the season's batting .287 with 18 home runs. Batted .254 with 32 home runs. But remember, we're 102 games into the season. Hope everybody's doing well out there. RJL in the house, Tribe fan. I am back to 1976. Where were you? The bicentennial season. And I'm commenting on inside pitch. Beautiful depth, amazing. Integrates the pitcher and the batter and the ballpark. You know, as often as possible, I guess you could say. 2-1, and that's going to be a potential error. So we're going to see what happens there. So we're going to roll again on Nell's card, and we're rolling the 20-sided die. And a 6 could be an error. It's a 3-6. Let's see what that is. It's a fly. Now, this is okay. So there's a few things happening here. It's against a left-handed pitcher, and it's a line drive to right field, which could drop in for a hit, and then it could become an error on top of that hit. And it could become a one or a two base hit error. So there's a couple of things we have to look at here. We're going to look at that 6, and we're using that 6 for something else, and that's going to be a ball that drops in for a double, right? It's going to drop in for a double, and now the ball may be bobbled out there by Lascano. So we're going to roll again, and Lascano is a what number is he? Lascano in right field is an error 1, so it's almost practically impossible for Lascano to make an error. He does not. So it's going to be a leadoff double for Nettles into right field, cut off by Lascano. And Nettles going for 2, the throw in, not in time. So Nettles leads off with a double, and it's Fran Healy who has an RBI single so far in this game. So again, Bill Travers is really struggling. He struggled in the first inning, gave up 4 runs. It's 4-0, New York. Then in the second inning, he allowed the first 2 batters on, a single and a walk. And now here in the third, gives up a leadoff double to Greg Nettles. Fran Healy. That's a 1-5er. That's wild. 1-14 is going to be something, and this is a wild pitch. Oh, no, it's a potential pass ball. We're going to roll on Darryl Porter. Darryl Porter is a pass ball of 1. So basically, anything above the 1 is going to be a pass ball. He must have had a ton of pass balls. Okay, so anything above the number, so that's almost like a range play. Anything below the number he gets to. Anything above the number he fails to get to. So we're going to roll the – no, so it's a pass ball, and Nettles is going to go to third base. So Healy is still at the plate. The infield is in now for Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-6, and that is against a righty. That's a potential home run. We're going to look at Healy. Healy has no home runs for that season, so we're going to roll off Healy's card. Infield is in. I'll show you how to do that. 6-3, and that's a ground ball to first base. My house rule with nobody out, Nettles holds at third base, so George Scott is going to step on the bag for out number 1. Just like that, it allows me to play it in a fluid fashion without having to do a big, decision-making throughout. This is early in the game. Oh, wait, I have to go back and fix that. I hit the eraser, and it undoes the last play. I have to go into detail because I'm using the replay PC game, and I have to it's a ground ball, but the runner at third base is going to hold, so that's the difference. So that's why I have to do it here. So he's out, and he holds. Okay, so let's try this again. It's going to be a ground ball. All right, and unassisted. There you go. And the other runner holds at third base. So Nettles is going to hold with the infield in. Infield continues to be in. So Heidemann, Yount, Johnson, and George Scott are all on the infield grass. And it's going to be Sandy Alomar. Taking any questions you guys may have on Inside Pitch Baseball. I play the same way. I love this game. Hey, Dan is in the house. This game is really one of the best games. I mean, if I had to get rid of every other game and keep one game, I would never want to do that. But if I had to, I'm leaning towards probably keeping this game. It's got so much detail. It flows so smoothly once you get it and you understand where the designer's coming from. That it's a beautiful game. I go to ball games every summer. I go to a bunch of ball games every summer. This game feels most like going to a ball game, coming home, and that sense of seeing everything that you expected to see in a ball game, pretty much getting that real full sense of, hey, I really was part of a game today. That's what you get out of this game, and I have to admit that. That's not to say other games aren't great. I mean, they have a lot of beauty to that, beauty all their own. That's a different story altogether. But this is a tremendous game. Anyway, Sandy Alomar, 1 out There's a runner at third base. Infield is in again. This time, my house rule says that he goes. So if there's a play, there's going to be a play at the plate. So 2-5 is going to be a W, which is a potential walk. Sandy Alomar against a lefty. Alomar against a lefty is to walk is a 7 plus the county stadium says 1, so it's going to be an 8. So it's a 15. There is no walk. So we're going to roll off Alomar. Let's see what happens. And that's going to be a snake eyes. Star line 5. That's grounded to short. Now Nettles, remember he's going to be a -2. Nettles is going to be a -2. And that's going to put him at 0, and he's an automatic out at the plate. There goes Nettles to throw home, and he's tagged out by Porter. So it's a fielder's choice, a 6-2 fielder's choice. Alomar's on at first, and Alomar is going to try to get the jump. Alomar is a jump and 8. 18 is not going to do it, does not get the jump. So Fred Stanley with 2 outs. Here's a pitch from Travers, 1-4, and that is range play. So now it's the green die. Now we got to look at the green die. That's critical, and that's probably going to be an out. So it's going to be a 4-6. That's a fly ball to right field. Lascano in right field. If he's a 2 or better, at least a 2, he'll catch that. That's why most guys are at least a 2. I mean, so he generally when I see that number, and he's a 4 in right field, so he runs that down easily. And robs Stanley the potential single double, and that's going to retire the side. So just like that. So you get everything. Fielding comes into play, and base running comes into play. It's all there. Pitcher comes into play. The batter comes into play. It's all there all the time on every. So you do have to have, you have to have patience with the rolls, but it plays at a pretty brisk pace. Hunter against Gorman Thomas. Let's get a quick result. 6-1's a potential K, and that is a K. Strike 3, and Thomas doesn't like it, but he heads back to the bench. Here's a pitch from Jim Catfish Hunter. Wasn't a real nickname, by the way. That was made up by Charlie Finley. 3-1. That's a double star, and we're looking at a fly ball. Rivers drifts over, settles under it, squeeze it for out number 2. And Jack Heidemann. So 4-1, that's wild. We're gonna another pitch and a 3-6er against a righty. That's double star, and that is a fly ball. This time it's to left field. Roy White, easy out, and that retires the side. So that was again a pretty quick inning. So not only does it have detail, it plays pretty fast. Mickey Rivers is starting us off. Bill Travers here in the top of the 4th. It's a 2-4. That's where you look at the ballpark card. So we're going to roll on the ballpark card, and that is a 5-3, and that is ground to the first baseman, Scott, who flips to the pitcher covering. And that's one solution you can do on the ballpark card. You can do that because 25% of ground balls to first base go to the pitcher. On the ballpark card, whenever that happens, it could have like you don't want to do a lot of symbols either, but it could be down here, or it could be part of the rule somewhere where when there's a ball hit to first base on the ballpark card, the first baseman flips to the pitcher. You could do something like that. So that's one away. Roy White is next. Here's the pitch from Bill Travers, the lefty. That's a 6-2, and that is a tired. Bill Travers can go 30 batters. Let's see where he's at. He is at 19 batters. Allowed 10 there. 10. Let's see, because then there's a second number. That has to do with hits, walks, and runs. So let's see where he is on that. Oh, he is at 13. So he is fatigued. He is fatigued, and that is going to be a 6-2. It's going to be a base hit, a little ground ball that gets through, and White is on with a single. It's a fatigue single. So Roy White's going to try to get a lead. White is a 4. 14, does not get it. Now, if that comes up at 20, I play pickoff. But that's it. That's all I do for that. So Roy White's on at first, and here is Thurman Munson. Travers, 5-2, and that's a star line versus a righty. And that's a 3 fly ball right field. Lezcano in the gap and chases it down for out number 2. So Munson goes the opposite way, hits it on the nose, drives it, but Lezcano got a good read on it and ran it down. Lou Piniella now with a runner at first base, and again, Roy White can try to get a steal. Let's try that again. An 8 is not going to do it. Here's the pitch. Travers, a 1-2, and that's a potential strikeout. Piniella against a lefty, 6-8, 8 or less, and that's a 9, so there's no strikeout. We roll off of Piniella, a 2-5er, and that's a star line 2, which is a fly ball. Center field, Gorman Thomas backpedaling and makes the catch. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Von Joshua. Pitch from Hunter. It's a 5-5. That's a blank. So we go to the batter card. 1-5, and that's a fly ball. Mickey Rivers tracks it down for out number 1. Robin Yount. It's a 3-6er against a righty. That's a star line. Star line what? Star line 2. You look at the pitcher's card, and that's a fly to center. Again, Mickey Rivers is called upon for the out, and it's George Scott with 2 outs. It'll be a quick inning if this continues. A 5-6, potential K+. That's almost guaranteed. Oh, yeah, it's guaranteed. Strike 3, and Hunter strikes out Scott to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down, so Hunter's looking good in our replay today. I just got 76 myself. Love 76, my friend. This is the first season I ever played tabletop. Yes, sir. First season I ever played was 76 APA. And I read the roster for my pitchers. Instead of mixing up the cards, I read the roster, and I used the first 3 pitchers in every lineup. You know, they had a pitching lineup, and it was usually the best pitchers were at the top, and my batting averages were horrible. They were in the mid-low 200s. Everybody was hitting 200. I was so depressed. I played out the whole season. I couldn't understand why everybody batted so poorly. Well, I eventually figured out that because I was using the top 3 pitchers every time, I never used the bottom 4 and 5 starters, who were the guys who gave up all the hits. So from that point on, I learned, and you live and you learn. All right, so it's Bill Travers against Chris Chambliss. Now Travers is fatigued, but I'm letting him go a little bit because I'm not a big, I'm not Captain Hook here in 1976. So that's a 3-1. That's a double question mark. That's going to be a 1-7 is an out, and we got a 10, so it's going to go off Chambliss. There's no out there. Going to go off Chambliss, lefty on lefty. 2-1, that's line and caught by Timmy Johnson at second base. So Chambliss hit it on the screws, but right at Tim Johnson, who snared it for the out. Here's Greg Nettles, a 55. That's a potential walk. Walk for Nettles is going to be a 13. And it is a 13, so that's ball 4. So Nettles trots down to first base. And Nettles is not going to run. Numbers 5-3. Blank. So we're rolling off Healy. It's 4-0 Yankees in the top of the 5th, 6-4. And that is a star line 5, which is ripped to shortstop. This may turn into a double play. Let's see what happens. And, we're going to have to count it out. So 2-0-1. And I think one of my guys – wait. This is the wrong team. Okay, this is yeah. The Yankees have a really good infield defense, but I thought the Yankees were on the field for some reason. I don't know. All right, Johnson Johnson doesn't have that extra oomph. And neither does Yount. They don't have any pluses. And what do we roll? A 4. Yeah, it's not going to be a double play. It's going to be a fielder's choice. So it's a 6-4. Throw to first, not in time. So Healy beats it out, hustling down the line. Fielder's choice. Puts runners on first base with 2 outs. Brings up Sandy Alomar. Here's a pitch from Travers. That's a 4-3, and that is a K. 10 against a lefty. Nope. So we're rolling off Alomar's card. That's a 16. It's a fly ball left field. Tracking it is Von Joshua, and he runs it down for out number 3. We go to bottom of the 5th, 4-0 Yankees. Hunter, Jim Catfish Hunter, looking sharp. Range play ballpark. All right, this is interesting. Range play ballpark. So let's do that. So it's a 2-1 on the ballpark. This is going to be, there's a lot of things going on here. So the 2-1 is a single plus, it's a single to left, plus the base runner is going to try to make it to second base. He's going to try to stretch a single into a double. That's what I love about this. So Hegan singles, and he sees the opportunity to take second, and he is going to try to do that, or consider it at least. But we have to roll to see if the left fielder makes the catch. And with a 6 that we rolled, he does not make the catch. So then we're going to try we're going to roll another one and try for second base, see what happens. Hegan's not very fast. Hold on a second. Let's see what Hegan is. Mike Hegan is a 2. So 1 or 2 for him to make it to second. A 6, he's out, and it's a 5, he holds. So Hegan holds on a single. So that's got a base hit single with nobody out, and Hegan is on at first. Lezcano's up. Here's a pitch from Hunter. It's a 4-4, and that is going to be a potential walk against a righty. He walks at a 12, and it's a 1, so it's ball 4. So Lezcano shows patience and makes it to first base, pushing Hegan to second. So with nobody out, it's first and second. And so runners on first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. The Yanks are up 4-0, but the Brewers have something going. Yes, sirree. Yes, they do. All right, so Darryl Porter, left-handed batter, versus Jim Catfish Hunter. Jim Catfish Hunter, up to this point, has allowed 1 hit. I'll take a quick sip of my Bai Coconut. This is brought to you by Bai Coconut Antioxidant Cocoa Fusion. This is my favorite drink, after tequila, of course. All right. Darryl Porter, first and second. Pitch from Hunter. Takes a sign from Munson. It's a 3-3, and that's going to be a ballpark. Again, we look at the ballpark card. So we're rolling on the ballpark. It's a 5-3, and that's a ground ball to first base. This may turn into a double play. Porter's a 1. Catfish is 0. Got the infield halfway. That's a +1, so that's a 2. Stanley and Alomar, I do not think, have anything going in their favor. No pluses, no pivot pluses for either of them. No, they do not. So it's a straight 2. So we're going to roll, and that is a 2. So it's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. And that takes the air out of what was building to be a potential big inning for the Brewers. So again, Yankee defense comes through. 3-6-3 double play. So it's a ground ball hit sharply to Chambliss, and it takes a step back and whips it to Stanley at second, and the throw back in time. 3-6-3 double play, and that moves Hegan to third. Gorman Thomas now. Pitch from Hunter. That's a 5-1. Against a lefty, it'd be a home run, but against a righty, it's going to be that's a splits. They got splits in this too. Against a righty, it's going to be a potential K. So a K, we're looking for, oh, this is almost automatic. I don't even have to roll. Yeah, it's automatic. Strike 3, and that, my friend, retires aside. Thomas has a lot of strikeouts. Holy smokes. All right. And he was always one to be known to strike out a lot. I mean, Thomas was always known to strike out a lot. All right, Travers, who is fatigued, and I have to keep on reminding myself of that. That's a 2-4, and that's a ballpark result again. We're rolling on the ballpark. See what happens. That's a 6-3, and that is, a pull home run. He has no home runs against lefties, so we're rolling off Stanley. Can't do it if you didn't do it. That's what she said. 2-4. And that is line to right field. Will this drop in? That's the question, and it does not. Lizcano, sliding catch, and Rob Stanley of at least a single, but potentially a double. So it's a line out to the right fielder. He's a 4. I rolled a 3. If I rolled higher than a 4, 5 or 6, then it would have been a hit. All right, so 1 out, top of the 6th. Keep this going. Mickey Rivers. That's a 2-3, and that's a K. Mick doesn't strike out very much, but it is a 9 here against the lefty. It's a 9. We roll a 15, so that's not a strikeout. It's a 55, and that is grounded to the second baseman Johnson, who charges it, sidearms it to first, and just barely got Rivers, and Rivers doesn't think so. But coach says, hey, they got you, man. Sorry. Mickey Rivers, what a character. Roy White, switch hitter. Been here a long time, Roy White. He's the veteran. That's a 2-4, and that's a ballpark. Again, we go to ballpark. We're going to roll on that. It's a 5-3, and that's grounded to the first baseman, Scott. And flips to the pitcher covering, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 Yankees. Timmy Johnson leading it off against Hunter. So 4-1, that's a wild. Doing it again. A 1-4 this time is a potential home run. We got to roll against a lefty. That's a 1-7, 18. No home run, so we're rolling off Johnson's card. A 4-2, grounded to second base. Alomar over to first, 1 away. Jack Heidemann in the bottom of the 6th, and that's a 4-1. Again, a wild. And a 5-4 this time is against a righty is a K+, almost an automatic, and it is strike 3. Swings and misses at an outside fastball. 2 away, top of the order now. Nice thing in American League with the DH, you don't have to pinch hit very often. You don't have to do the double switch, so it plays much faster. So if I'm starting to learn a new game, I would pick an old 7. I would do it with a 70s season. I'd pick a team, and it'd be in the American League. That would allow me to just learn the rules. I wouldn't have to worry about managing a lot. Kind of just relive the moment. Vaughn Joshua's up. Vaughn Joshua on the season's batting .297. Got 6 home runs. Here's the pitch from Catfish. That's ballpark. Now I'm going to just look at that. And that's a 1-3 on the ballpark, and that's lifted to left field. And Roy White coming over, settles under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So Joshua goes the opposite field, but White is right there for the fly ball. Thurman Munson. Bill Travers still fatigued, still in there. 7th inning. You know what? And we are going to switcheroo here. Bill Travers. We're going to pull Bill Travers. We're going to bring in Danny Frizella. And let me make sure that Frizella is a relief pitcher. Danny Frizella, because I don't want to use the guy who's starting in the next game. I don't like to do that. And I don't want to bother to look who's starting the next game. Danny Frizella is a relief pitcher. Great. Perfect. So he's coming in. And that is. Danny Frizella's in the ballgame. He's facing Munson. Just like that. So that's the day for Bill Travers. 4 runs, 7 hits. And that's about it. So here comes Danny Frizella is going to face Thurman Munson. Now, if I check my book, I'll tell you what Frizella throws. I got a real cool book that tells you every pitcher. And this is always fun to know what the guy throws. Danny Frizella. So go to F. You got to go to F. So let's look at Danny Frizella. Yeah. Okay, one more. Frizella. Let's see if I can find Frizella. There he is. Danny Frizella, 67. This is his last season. He throws an overhand curve, like a 12-6 curve, a slider, and a fastball. Curve, slider, and a fastball. All right. So let's see what he's going to throw Munson. All right, say 4-6. Oh, and that's going to be the curveball. And Munson swings and misses. Practically guaranteed. Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Strikeout from Munson. So Munson goes after the curve for out number 1. Danny Frizzella to Piniella. And this is a 2-3 this time. And he strikes out Piniella. Back-to-back strikeouts for Danny Frizzella. And here's Chandler. That's a 3-5, and that is going to be a potential home run against a lefty. It's a 1-2, so it's not going to be. We're rolling off Chandler. And that's a 66. That's a fly ball left field. Joshua there makes the catch, and now retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. So it strikes out 2 out of the 3 batters he faces in the top of the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-0 Yankees. Dan Douglas in the house asking the question. Tony, what happened to your silent dice tower? Okay. Yes. What happened to my? I called it my my stealth tower. The stealth tower. You see this piece right here? Let me show you something. You see this piece right here? Now I'm not a guy who does a lot of home repairs or is good like with that sort of thing. Okay. This piece right here was too flat, right? So when I would throw the dice would end up being under the tower, and I couldn't read the number. Okay, so I hated it. It was so quiet, it was beautiful. And now I'm having to use the dice app online at night so I don't wake everybody up, because my wife says she can hear this thing on the other side of the house, and that's like a mile down. Yeah, because I live in a mansion, right? Anyway, so that was the issue. So I basically sold it half price, like 50% off, pretty much, like $5 shipping and like $20. So maybe if somebody could fix that, it would be fine. So now I have this noisy dice tower. It's horrible. But anyway, Robin Yount, Catholic Center, bottom of the 7th, 4-0 Yankees, 4-5. And that is going to be a potential strikeout. We're looking at a 9er. Robin Yount, a 9er. Nope. So we're going to roll off Yount's card, see what Yount can do with this. 65, and this is line, and Nettles, great lead by the quick Nettles, and he grabs it, a line out, and that's 1 away. George Scott, right-handed hitter, 2-4, and that's a potential strikeout. We're looking at a 16, and we roll a 17, so no K there, so it's going to be off of George Scott, and it's a 6-6. That's line. Base hit left field. Second hit of the game allowed by Hunter, and now here's Hegan. He's a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, a 2-6er, and that's a potential K. Potential K against a righty. It's going to be a 19, and we roll a 16. Strike 3, out number 2. So Hegan goes down swinging. And where are we? Here it is. And here is Sixto Lezcano, right-handed batter. Lezcano on the day he popped up and walked, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. That's a 3-1, and that's a star line. Star line 4, and that's grounded to the third baseman, Nettles. And easy scoop, fires to first in time. That retires the side. 5-3. No, we'll undo that one. Let's do that again. 5-3, and that is it for the 7th inning. We go to top of the 8th. Top of the 8th, Nettles leading it off against Danny Frizzella. Danny Frizzella, I think, has faced 3 batters so far. He can face 6. That's a 5-2. 5-2 is a potential home run against a righty, and that's a deep drive off the bat of Nettles. Lezcano back to the track, and that is out of here. Greg Nettles hits his 19th of the season. A 5-2 is an automatic home run if Greg Nettles can hit one, and he does. He's a 20. Can't get any better than that against a right-hander. All right, so it's Fran Healy now, and that's a 5-4, and that is against a righty is a K+. This is almost an automatic, and it is. Again, the curveball and the slider, using all the off-speed pitches to confuse the Yanks and keep them off balance. Here's Sandy Alomar. Didn't confuse Greg Nettles, though. 5-3. That's a potential error. See what happens. Got to roll that. And that is a potential error, is right. 2-5er, and that is against a right-handed pitcher. It's a fly ball to right, but there is no error because it's an even number. And Lascano runs it down for out number 2. And it's Fred Chicken Stanley. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-6, a potential K, almost automatic, and it is strike 3, and that is 3 up, 3 down. Well, after the home run, it was 3 up, 3 down. Nettles with his 19th of the season. It's 5-0 Yankees going to the bottom of the 8th. Jim Catfish Hunter, I'm looking for a complete game here. All right, Philip is back. Always good to see Philip Reynolds and Dan Douglas and Tribe Fan. It's good to see him when he says hello. RJL, check out his channel. Check out Tribe Fan's channel. Check out Philip's channel. Check out Dan Douglas's channel. And Darryl Porter against Jim Catfish Hunter. Porter swings from the left side. He's flied out, grounded into a double play. Hunter's got a 2-hitter going. That's a 2-3. That's blank, so we're rolling off Porter. It's a 5-1, and that is a fly ball in the gap, and Rivers runs it down. So Mickey Rivers turned on the Jets and caught up to that ball. Gorman Thomas. It's a 5-6. That's a potential K, almost automatic, and it is strike 3. Thomas strikes out for the second time, and now it's Timmy Johnson. Left-handed hitter. So 3-4, and that's a potential K. And a 17 is not going to do it. So Timmy Johnson, 30-1, makes some contact and grounds one to shortstop. Stanley waits back, now charges, throws on the run, and safe. No, out. He is out. Oh. And they're arguing at first base. Here out comes the manager. Here comes Alex Grammis. And that was a 3-1. And Stanley made a fine play on that to get rid of that ball quickly. Just got Tim Johnson. Looked like he was safe from the booth. All right, so top of the 9th, 5-0 Yankees. Yanks have 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Brewers have no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Catfish Hunter has got a masterpiece going here. Jim Catfish Hunter had 5 consecutive years of winning at least 20 games. Pitched a perfect game in 1968. And here goes, top of the 9th, Mickey Rivers. Danny Frizella is actually should be about tired right now. So let's grab somebody else from the bullpen. Frizella went already 2 innings. Broberg, Sadecki. Let's see. Sadecki's a relief pitcher. He's a lefty. Perfect. There he is. Ray Sadecki. And I have the roster up, and that helps me a lot. It gives me the menu of players. Here's a pitch from Sadecki. It's 1-4, and that's a potential K. Not easy to strike out Rivers, and he does not. So Rivers fouls it off. Here's the next pitch, 3-5, and that is a ground ball, third base. Heidman better hurry. He runs and scoops it, throws on the run, and barely gets Rivers. 5-3. Rivers can really fly down the line. Roy White batting from the right side. It's a 1-2. That's a potential walk. Against a lefty, that's a 12, and he walks. White manages a walk. And at 5-0, he's going to try to get a lead, and he does not get it. That's a 1-3 against Munson now. 1-3, a righty, and that's going to be a base hit. That's going to send White up the middle, little ground ball, and through into center field. White scoots to third base, first and third with only 1 out. Here comes Lou Piniella. Infield is in, 2-6. 2-6 is a walk plus. Against a lefty, that is a 14, and we roll a 17, so there's no walk there. Pinella likes to swing the bat. 3-5. That's grounded to third. This could turn into a double play. Let us see. And no double play. It's going to be a 5-3. Oh, the infield is in with one out. Aha. Hold on a second, my friends. Infield is in with one out. And Roy White, we may go home with this. Roy White is a 4 minus 2. It's a 2. So do I go home with it? I'm going to have to re-roll because I already know it's a 6. Well, actually, the 6 says I don't go home with it. The 6 actually says that I don't go home with it, and I go to first base with it. So that's going to allow White to score. It's just a ball that there's no way to go home with, basically. So there's one out, and it's an RBI for Pinella. Here comes Chris Chambliss. That's a 5-5, and that is going to be a potential error. See what happens. That's a 2-3, a single to center field. Will he make an error? 7. Center fielder's Thomas. I don't think that he makes those kind of errors. Thomas is a 1 in center field, so he will not make an error. So it's a base hit single. And with 2 out, Munson may try to score on this single. He's at second base. Let's see if he tries to score. Let's check this out. Munson running is a 4. It's 5. The center fielder, Thomas, I think is a -1. That brings it back down to a 4. So we're going to roll 2d6. We're going to try to score him, and that is a 1. He does score, and Chambliss is going to hold up with an RBI single. So it's 7-0 now. Ray Sadecki is out of there. Ray Sadecki hasn't been able to get anybody out, but we may have to just leave him in there because I don't know if I have any more relievers who can go here. I don't know if I do or not. Broberg and Slayton. Slayton I know is a starter for sure. Broberg, he may be both. Let's see, where is Broberg? I haven't used these cards, so it's kind of they're not easy to handle. You got to get some Broberg. He's a reliever and a starter. You know what? I'm gonna allow Sadecki to continue. He's got 2 outs. Hopefully, he can get the 3rd out and get out of this already. 7-0. This game pretty much over. Greg Nettles, the batter. Here's the pitch from Sadecki. He's fatigued already. It's 4-4, and that is an error on a grounder. So let's see what happened to my 20-sided die. Error on a grounder. Let's see if it's a grounder. It's a 3-5, and that is a star line 2, which is grounder second base. A 6. Second baseman is Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson is a 6, so he boots it, and everybody is safe. So that's an E4. And now it's Fran Healy. Wow, can't get out of this inning. Okay. Pitch from Sadecki, 3-2. And that is a righty base hit up the middle, and Chambliss is going to score. Going to third is Nettles. 8-0. Sadecki's taking a bruising. He's taking a beating, but keeps on ticking. Taking a licking and keeps on ticking. That's the one I was trying to remember. All right, it's a 6-3, and that is a potential strikeout. Alomar against a lefty is a 7, and we roll a 12. So here's a swing, a 41, and versus a lefty, that's a base hit down the third base line, and Joshua's going to cut it off. Healy is going to stop at second. So the barrage continues. Fred Stanley now. It's 9-0. Oh. That's a 34. 34 is wild. And no, nothing happens there. We're rolling again. Fred Stanley, a 1-5er. That's a blank. We're rolling off Stanley, and that's going to be a 5-6, and that is it. Grounded to short. Yount flips, tosses it to Johnson at second, 6-4, and that, my friends, is the inning. But the Yanks pick up 4 big runs. Yanks have 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and here's the bottom of the ninth. Heidemann leading it off. We're going to bring a pinch hitter. I'm going to quickly look at the bench to see who I can bring to pinch hit. Bringing a lefty. I got Sharp and Bernie Carbo. Remember Bernie Carbo? I'm going to bring him in. He was with the Brewers in '76, Bernie Carbo. He started off, I believe, with the I know he was a Red Sox at some point, but he started with the Reds, I believe. And he's going to pinch hit here. So Carbo comes in to pinch hit. In the bottom of the ninth, it's 9-0 Yankees. Hunter has got a two-hit shutout going here in the bottom of the ninth. For the season, Hunter's got 209 innings pitched. He had 3.05 ERA, 12 and 11. He was actually 17 and 15. So he's right on track. Had a 3.50 ERA. He's got a 3.05 ERA in our replay. Bernie Carbo faces Jim Catfish Hunter. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-1, a K. And a K versus a righty is almost automatic, and it is strikeout. So Hunter blows a fastball by Carbo for out number 1. And that is Hunter's, look at the box score. That's his 8th strikeout of the game. Yeah, comeback time. All right. Yeah, I didn't have any more new pitchers, Philip. They only had 10-man staffs. So and 2 of them were tired, and I used 3. So basically, I used 2 or I used 3, but they only had 4 relief pitchers or 5 relief pitchers. But 2 of them were tired, or 3 of them were tired. I can't tell. It was anyway. All right, because this is the first game of a 3-game set, and what happened in yesterday's game, I don't know. Maybe they used up all their relief pitching. I don't know. Jim Hunter against Vaughn Joshua, 1 out, nobody's on. That's a 1-4, and that's going to be a potential home run. So we're rolling against a left-handed batter, 1-7. No, so we're going to roll off Joshua. Joshua 1-4, and that's a ground ball. Comebacker to Hunter. He's going to field his position, throws out Joshua, and Hunter's 1 out away from a complete game 2-hit shutout of the Brewers. What a game for Jim Catfish Hunter. One of my favorite pitchers in history. I know that when you asked the Oakland A's in 1975, when after 3 World Series appearances, they didn't make it to the World Series. They were knocked out in the playoffs. They said, we didn't have Hunter. That's what they said. We didn't have Hunter anymore. Hunter had gone. He had signed with the Yankees in '75. And Hunter didn't want to leave Oakland. But Charlie Finley was a nightmare of an owner to work for. And but that's what. So I have if you read, I'm reading a book called. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I was reading halfway through it. But I got to get back to it. It's called Fantastic. I can't remember totally, but I'll bring it out since I'll be playing with Hunter and so on, and I start looking at my '76 collection. But when they interviewed the A's after they were knocked out in that '75 playoffs, they were like, yeah, we didn't have our go-to guy, our big game pitcher, Catfish Hunter. Had we had him, it would have made a difference. So Jim Catfish Hunter faces Robin Yount, steps in the box. So Catfish looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. Bottom of the ninth, 9-0 Yankees. 2-4. That's a potential K. And we're looking for a 9. 9 or less is a strikeout. And that is strike 3. And the ball game is over. Jim Catfish Hunter celebrates, gets a hug from his catcher, Fran Healy. And over comes Chambliss, high fives, and Alomar pats on the back from Fred Stanley, from Greg Nettles. And what a pitching performance by Jim Catfish Hunter. You watched him pitch a complete game shutout 2-hitter. Strikes out Robin Yount to end the ball game. And he struck out 9, 2 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 29 batters faced, lowers his ERA to 3.04, wins his 13th of the season. He's 13-11 now. Offensively, he got all the support any pitcher could possibly want. 5 different Yankees with 2 hits apiece. 3 different Yankees with two RBIs each. That's Nettles, Healy, and Alomar. Let's see. Stolen bases. Mickey Rivers stole his 34th. Home runs. Greg Nettles hit his 19th. And nothing happening with the Milwaukee Brewers. Nothing to mention, really. So that's it. This is Inside Pitch. I hope you enjoyed it. 9-0 Yankee victory. I'm going to play a couple of games off camera, and then I will come back probably tomorrow with another Inside Pitch game. I'm going to play at least 6 games. I'm really enjoying this, really getting into the flow, and at least 6 games. And then I'm going to play some Deep Drive, and then I'm going to get back into Pop because I want to replay 1983 Pop. Let's see. Oh, that's weird. So anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice. And I don't know what happened there with my screen. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. I see what happened with my screen. I lost my my controller, though, for some reason. Ah, there it is. Okay, I see why. All right. So that's it. So Yanks improve their record. Let's take a quick peek at their record. Yankees' record is 56-47. They're in first place. The Brewers fall to 49-52. I'm gonna take a break and then set up another game before I do take a break. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And I will be watching the streams that that are going on out there. Every so often. Underrated thing about these cards is the team colors. It makes it so much easier for me to see the difference in teams. Yeah, team colors are beautiful. Now, I use black and white, and I'll tell you why. In my league, I use black and white because it's a draft league. So then every color would be different. It would be a mess. You know what I'm saying? I like it when all the colors are the same. That's great. But when all the colors are different, like in a draft league, then it's a mess. But yeah, the colors are beautiful. And the cards are easy to read. The font is huge. Very simple. It's not too many symbols. It's not too many things to look up. Did I look at the chart? I looked at the chart one time. So this is fairly a chartless game. It uses the pitcher, the batter, and the ballpark, quite often, regularly. It's got extra dice you got to throw, so you need to know different things, and you need to know the approach a little bit. But it's worth, I played a game I played at least one game every day for a month. After a month, I felt pretty comfortable. The things that I didn't know, I didn't fret over. It was like, okay, does the guy go from first to third? Well, if he was slow, I held him at second. If he was fast, I sent him to third. So I didn't worry about base running till later, till about a week after. Then I started looking at once I learned everything else, right? And it's pretty simple. I mean, it's intuitive. It's like baseball. It's baseball. It is baseball. If you know baseball, you understand pretty much. And I don't go crazy, about. I don't become anal about things. If I credit a guy with an error and it was a 2-base error and I give him a 1-base error, I'm not going to kill myself, especially if it's like a blowout. Like I didn't check. I think it was a 1-base error because on the throw is when you get a 2-base error. On a regular E, I think it's a 1-base error unless it's in the outfield. Then it could be a 2-base error. But the error isn't in the outfield. So little things like that, I don't lose sleep over. I had a great time. It was a blowout game. It was a simple game. It was straightforward. And RJL, I'm the man. Yeah, you are the man, RJL. I'm not the man. You are the man. Pop has great quality cards, beautiful cards. That's without a doubt. They use the I think it's the M12 they call it. That's the paper. That's the paper that they use. It's special paper that if you go to Office Max or Office Depot and you ask them for I want business cards with M12 paper, they give you the same paper that Pop uses for his cards. So he uses the top of the line paper for his cards. So so of course they're going to be nice cards. This is more like probably 110 pound. 110 pound. That's what I think that is. I use 90 pound for my other cards. The ones I create, the ones I print out, like like this stuff. This is 90 pound. I like 90 pound. It works just as good. So anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice, and that's it for tonight. And I will watch you guys. So get something going out there. Do some streaming so I can watch it. Take care. Stay safe, guys.